The War to End Them All, Part 2. Right before we get started, however, consider subscribing. These videos are a real grind to make and get out as quick as I do, and I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, on with the video. I've got to confess, I didn't expect to have to make this video for another few days. I expected a relative peace to emerge after the first bit, but, well, here we are. So, how did this all start? As did the first Disc War, this all starts with Sapnap. So Sapnap, a few hours ago, was just messing about on stream when he felt like killing something. As he explored the area, he stumbled upon Nihachu's fox, Fungi, and decided to pretend to kill him, by shooting very close to his head and not intending to kill. Until he miscalculated and with one bow shot, killed Fungi and sent his remains flying. This still didn't satisfy his killing itch, however, and he therefore went to Tommy's summer house and started threatening to kill Henry, who was Tommy's cow, even shooting shots around the cow's body. His chat convinced him not to, however, so he left Henry alone and traumatized, and instead kept searching around Tommy's house for something or someone to kill. And who else did he stumble across other than Harold, the second most important cow to Tommy? Knowingly or unknowingly, Sapnap killed Harold in cold blood, and then went about his day. He probably didn't know that Harold meant as much to Tommy as he did and thought it was a random cow, but his actions can't be undone. Little did he know, all hell would break loose once Tommy logged on. So Tommy finds out about Harold being killed after logging on the next day, and filled with rage, decides to break all the windows in Sapnap's basement. And this will be relevant later, so don't forget it. He then investigated further and found that Nicky's fox was dead, and that Henry had been threatened. All of this was enough to anger Nicky, who logged on and demanded revenge on Sapnap. Tommy, scared of the rare sight that is an angry Nicky, decided to just go along with whatever she planned, and therefore bided his time, feeding her information from his chat. Then, when Nicky saw that Sapnap had not accidentally killed her fox, and that he had pseudo-tortured it before killing it, she decided to go all out. Tommy told her that Sapnap's most prized possessions were his fish, Beckerson and Mars, though it was later found that this isn't 100% accurate. And then she and Tommy therefore decided to steal Beckerson, as they thought he was Sapnap's fish, and therefore that they could use him to extract an apology out of Sapnap, as Nicky then said that she didn't want to kill the fish and spread more misery, but just wanted an apology from Sapnap. Tommy then went and captured Beckerson from Sapnap's basement fish tank, and accidentally let Mars roam free in the process, as he escaped the tank and swam out through the previously broken windows. Tommy then decided to try and not involve the discs in this war, and instead to concentrate on getting Nicky's apology. Though, as you can probably tell, this didn't happen. After regrouping at the embassy, Tommy realized that Mars was actually Sapnap's fish, and that Beckerson, whom he had captured, was George's. This led to a mad rush from Tommy to try and get Mars back, and since Sapnap's house was in an enclosed lake, he hadn't swum too far and escaped, and Tommy was able to capture Mars as well. After this, in an attempt to try and hold the fish ransom and actually obtain an apology, Tommy tried to contact Sapnap, who didn't answer any of his calls. Neither did George, which meant that Tommy therefore tried to call Dream, who also didn't pick up. However, Tommy got sent to voicemail, where he almost leaked Dream's phone number live to an audience of about 40,000 people. Thankfully, Tommy managed to stop the call in time, but it caused enough of a kerfuffle to get Dream's attention, and to cause him to join Tommy's VC and log onto the server. Tommy then told Dream of Sapnap's actions, and that he had taken Beckerson and Mars. Dream then revealed how much Beckerson meant to him, as the fish had been there since day one, and Tommy just clocked that he could use the fish as leverage to get Dream's disc. Tommy then started negotiating with Dream, who wanted the fish back really badly. Dream, feeling as he called it, cocky, decided to block himself in Tommy's jukebox room and play Tommy's disc to torment him. He did not consider, however, that Tommy and Tubbo would break through the walls, which were much easier to break than the obsidian he had placed, and steal the disc, which they did. After an intense few minutes, Tommy managed to pick up the disc and bank it in his ender chest. Dream immediately told him, however, that the disc was a fake, but Tommy was too busy celebrating. Tommy was aware of the chance that this could be a bluff from Dream's side and that the disc he had would be the real disc, but he also wondered why Dream would play the legitimate disc while negotiating, and this planted doubt in Tommy's mind. He also realized that after Tubbo punched it out of the jukebox, Dream didn't move, and this planted even more doubt in Tommy's head. He did, therefore, try to call Dream's bluff and told him to burn what he was calling was the real disc. Dream refused, but Tommy was still confused, and therefore he asked Tubbo to put on his alter ego and become Big Law. For those of you who don't know, Big Law is Tubbo's alter ego, where he's a lawyer, and he's basically the same person but with a much deeper voice. Anyway, with Tommy trying to take Dream to court and with Big Law as his lawyer, Quackity then, on a call, reminded Tommy that Dream needed representation in court. Quackity couldn't be Dream's lawyer at the time, given that he was about to hop onto an airplane, but Tommy then asked Thunder 1408 to represent Dream, and privately told him to be biased against Dream while defending him. When the rest of them arrived in court, Tommy realized that Dream hadn't shown up, and that Dream was running around unchecked as they proceeded to the courthouse. On a tip from his chat, Tommy then abandoned the court case and went to check on his cow Henry and his llama. He found the side of his house smashed in with Henry and the llama both missing. Dream then arrived at his house and told Tommy that he had taken Henry and the llama hostage and would give them back once Beckerson and Mars were returned. Nikki also reminded Tommy at this point that she needed Mars or Beckerson for Sapnap's apology at this point. Dream then said that in exchange for all of Tommy's leverage, he would give Tommy's quote-unquote disc back. Unsure of whether this disc was real or fake, Tommy then started planning to scam Dream out of the disc and try to get Thunder 1408 to get a fake tropical fish to replace the real Beckerson. Thunder, however, got an achievement which tipped Dream off to him being scammed, the tactical fishing achievement, which is gained when you try to pick up a fish in a bucket, and therefore faking Beckerson or Mars was now out of the question. Tommy then decided to try and scam Dream using Spirit by renaming the actual leather to a misspelling of it, and faking Dream out with a fake leather which was named Spirit without any typos. So just to clarify, because that's a little confusing, Tommy has a fake Spirit and the real Spirit. He's renamed the real one a misspelling of Spirit to try and fake out Dream, and he's named the fake one like it is the real one without any typos. Tommy then planned to do a Mission Impossible style dead drop with the fake, to try and convince Dream that the fake Spirit was the real one, all while the real one sat safely in his ender chest. Tommy had initially planned to get the fake for himself, but Dream sabotaged the drop and got it early. Jack Manifold, who had the actual fake Spirit, had planned to put it in a bottom chest in the community household style thing, but before Tommy could pick it up from this test, Dream got it himself. This didn't matter in the long run, however, as now Dream had the fake Spirit, but was unsure of whether it was the real one or not. Tommy, realizing that Dream could pull up his stream at any time, hid the actual Spirit onto the floor of his house and then continued to act like Dream had the real thing. This is also a good time to mention that the only people streaming these events were Tommy and Jack Manifold, which means that it's really hard to see Dream or Tubbo's perspective of this, and therefore it's kind of hard for me to decide what was exactly going through their heads at the time. Then a new deal emerged. Dream would give Tommy's disc and his pets back, along with Tubbo's B-boxes, in exchange for Spirit, Beckerson, Mars, and his sword. Tommy then managed to convince Dream that the leather he had was the real one by showing his ender chest's contents. But remember, Tommy had taken the leather out of his ender chest for this very reason, to try and convince Dream by showing him his ender chest. Tommy then went and retrieved Dream's sword and went through with the trade. Would that be it? Not really. Dream now had a fake piece of leather, and even though Tommy held off on celebrating having scammed him, Dream found out the second Tommy started celebrating and logged back onto the server. Tommy had refrained from celebrating until then, in case Dream killed Henry and the llama in retaliation, and was about to go and defend said pets from Dream when he was informed that he too had been scammed. The disc that he had gotten at the very start was the real disc, and the one he had just received via trading was a fake copy that Dream had prepared in case such an event occurred. In light of the fact that both of them had scammed each other, Dream held off on killing Henry and the llama, and thus this subsection of the war came to an end. So what's left? Well, for one, Nihachu's apology was completely forgotten in the heat of battle, and in an effort to make this up to her, Tommy called Sapnap out on Twitter. Dream now has no disc and no leverage but wants his horse's leather back. Tommy and crew now have one of their prized music discs and the leather, and the last music disc is with the enigma that is Skeppy. So in the next and probably last installment of this series, I'm fairly certain we'll be seeing some sort of trade or war happening between Dream and Skeppy, in which Dream tries to get the music disc from Skeppy so he can trade it to Tommy for the leather. It's also possible that Skeppy trades Tommy the disc for the leather directly, seeing how Dream has much better gear than Tommy anyway, but this is unlikely, as Skeppy has refused to trade the disc for the leather in the past. Tubbo's B-boxes were also lost in the kerfuffle, so that was an L for the L'Manberg side. I'm also fairly certain we're going to see a lot more fakes and duplicates on the server now, as most of the people who participate in wars have found that using duplicates and fakes is a really great way to get what you want without having to lose anything. And it'll be much harder to keep track of the real items of value among the fakes. Anyway, that is it from me for now, guys, and before you leave, let me say one thing. I'm fairly certain that Tommy watches these videos, and if you are Tommy, maybe leave me a comment down below. Either way, thanks for watching, and I really do hope that you will all enjoy this video. If you liked it, consider following me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Animagician. I stream random stuff there every now and again. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.